Two main political parties who've governed us for the last 110 years odd, their support seems to be evaporating. You've only got to look at by-election results. Labour are down like 38% in what was their strongholds. They're getting absolutely annihilated, and the Tories have tanked. So on the one hand, it's a good sign. It's an opportunity for someone new, but at the same time, it's very dangerous. Because the far right are going to fill this vacuum if we don't do something about it, led by Nigel Farage, and that will be a disaster for all of us. So that is why we set this meeting up, because we think it's absolutely imperative a democratic, popular, socialist party can answer the people's questions and provide answers.
We have formed Arise, a new political party which is going to stand candidates in the local election in 2026. So we hope that you will come and join us and get involved, and I'll say how you can do that in a moment. Anyway, the media, they like to make mischief, don't they? So they have been saying, well, what's the difference between Arise and your party? Has everybody heard about your party? Yeah, great, isn't it? Fantastic. Your party is going to be a new national party, but it's not a party yet. And as Jeremy has said, he wants it to be grassroots. And how grassroots are we in Harrow? We're very grassroots, aren't we? So now is the time that we come together and we get a change in Harrow. Because whether it's Tory or Labour, have you seen any improvement in Harrow? We really haven't. What will happen is we will stand candidates under Arise. It's likely that once your party is formed, that we would fold into that. But we don't know what the structure will be yet. So we have to wait for that. And we need to get candidates into council now. And we need to be campaigning. It's not just about elected representatives. We need to make sure that every day of the week, we're holding the politicians that we've got to account. So just to thank you to Jeremy for coming up, because he's so busy.
We believe in an NHS run for the health of the people, not the wealth of the rich. We believe in a fully funded social care system so that growing older is not something that we fear. We believe in schools and public services properly funded so that every child, no matter their background, has the chance to thrive. We will fight for a wealth tax, so those who can afford to pay a little more do so. And we can properly fund our NHS, our schools, our care system, and our public service.
The Arise initiative is, I think, really important. In my view, it's absolutely critical. However difficult the terrain may seem in a first past the post system where other parties are hugely well resourced, including so-called new parties like Reform, who get blanket TV and media coverage from the BBC, who are well funded from the US and wealthy people in Britain. It can seem daunting to try and take them all on and stand candidates as independent, socialist, left candidates, but it's absolutely what we have to do.
For nearly 2 years, there has been demo after demo about Palestine, and instead of taking notice of us, the public have been labelled anti-Semites and terrorists because we have said no to genocide. Locally, it's exactly the same. Where the baby bank is, as Paul said, there are 4 Labour councillors. Not a single one of them has shown any interest in the needs of the local families we serve. Arise will be different. It is a political party by the locals, for the locals. We want all of you here to be involved in whatever capacity you can. We want things to change in Harrow, and it can be changed by us, everyone here in this hall tonight.
I want our political organisations, our party, to also be there for those people who are working in insecure work, on low pay, and often quite dangerous conditions, because that is what we're about. It's the politics of how we deal with people's lives and people's conditions that are so important. To ensure that every child is properly treated, every child eats, every child goes to school, and every child has equal opportunities of achievement in society. We don't go into this kind of 19th century moralistic nonsense that he did. What we need is to eliminate poverty in our society and discrimination within our society. That should be the priority area we're looking at. need to get water back into public ownership. And when Steve Reed tells me there's no solution other than the private sector, he is fundamentally wrong. Now, all this is taking place, and I'll finish in a moment, all this is taking place in a background of wars that are going on in the world at the present time.
Yeah.
I'm appalled by what's happening in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia. I'm appalled to see a First World War style of conflict going on there. It's got to stop. There's got to be a ceasefire. There has to be an agreement. And if Ukraine and Russia can negotiate over grain supplies, then I think they can negotiate over the future. I don't support what Russia's done. I hate the killing, and I hate what's going on there. We have to be a voice for peace there, and a voice to bring about a permanent peace in Central Europe. There's also the conflict that's going on now, the genocide that's going on now in Gaza. And it is a genocide. Over 60,000 people have been killed, including a very large number of children. And now Israel is trying to occupy the whole of Gaza and drive the population out into the Sinai, or to bribe South Sudan to accept millions of Palestinians as sort of permanent refugees living there. To their eternal credit, the Palestinian people have said, no, we're not leaving, we're not going, we're staying here. Israel must withdraw from Gaza, the West Bank and the Jordan Valley. And when Netanyahu says, well, he's not prepared to tolerate the existence of a Palestinian state, Britain must immediately recognise a Palestinian state, must immediately cease all weapon supplies to Israel and impose all the necessary sanctions on Israel. We then move on to the political solution we want to bring. And that means, yes, what I've just said about arms sales and all that, but it's also about what a government should be doing at the present time. Is it really right that Britain should increase arms expenditure to 4% of GDP, ultimately going up to 5%? Is it right that Britain will develop a new generation of nuclear weapons in contravention of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty? Shouldn't we instead be signing the Global Ban Treaty? Shouldn't we instead be observing the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty? And shouldn't we instead be looking to reduce defence expenditure and be a voice for peace in the world rather than part of this global arms race that's going on at the present time? I set out the initial statement in actually quite broad general terms about poverty, equality and justice in our society, about environmental sustainability, about public ownership, and of course opposition to wars and so on. We need to set those general points out. We need to provide hope, we need to provide an alternative. Our movement, our party, our organisation will bring people together as our answer to the racists and the dividers and the marketeers in our society, for a public solution to problems that all of the public face. It's unity we need, unity we'll put into operation, and above all, unity that's going to win. Thank you.